Hey everyone, it's Bennett back for another weekly recap in the ForrestLand Mishmash Fantasy Football League. This is week 2. Before we get started, I want to congratulate Temi and Chioma, the Cleansers and the Travelers, not only for both being 2-0, and not only because they both had the highest scores in the league respectively, but they also just welcomed in their baby daughter yesterday. No name yet, but they're working on it, and I'm sure we'll hear soon. So congratulations to Temi and Chioma on all the things good going on right now. They must be just having good karma because as I mentioned, they're both 2-0, and they had a lot of points in the league. So let's get to the recap. We actually had some really good games this week, and several of them came down to Monday night, where we had 2 games. So Show Me Your TDs just loses by a point, 177, 178. Looking through a little bit of bad luck, Anthony Richardson had 2 touchdowns before he was out with a concussion. McCaffrey had a good day. Lamb had a good day. Nothing too crazy, just consistent all around. But if you look at the Monday night scores, they had, let's see here, doesn't look like they had anyone. So they were stuck at 177. Meanwhile, the colon cleansers had Chris Olave in the New Orleans game with 14 points, David Njoku with 6 points in the Cleveland game. So 2 people on Monday night for a total of 20 points, and that was one more than what they needed to win the game. Looking at this, I'm surprised Tua only had 12 points because he had a really good game, but Lamar was great. Mostert, there you go. So Tua wasn't great, but Mostert did pretty amazing. I saw a couple runs, and I've had him on my fantasy team a few years, and he's always had potential. He's never been consistent. But then you've got Devontae Smith and Tyler Lockett doing good as well. So the Cleansers, brand new mother of her second child, is 2-0 with a 178-177 victory. All right, let's look to the other close 1-point game. We had Third and Oolong defeating Finkel 165-164. So nothing crazy points-wise, but pretty good day. Obviously, Keenan Allen had an amazing day. He had a couple great catches. Saquon, amazing, although he's hurt. I haven't gotten an update. I'd be shocked if he's not out for at least a few weeks, if not more. Lawrence, I was watching that Kansas City-Jacksonville game, and there just wasn't a lot of offensive action, so not a lot of points there. And then as far as Monday night, we're going to do a quick thing to look who played Minnesota-Washington. Okay, doesn't look like Finkel had anyone going last night, but Third and Oolong certainly did, if I remember correctly. Chris Godwin with 10 points, Tampa Bay. Cleveland, Elijah Moore, 6 points. And not much else, but those points were enough to get the win. Herbert was great. It did cancel out Keenan Allen a little bit. Justin Fields was terrible, but got some points fantasy-wise. And Jefferson had his just typical nasty day. That was Thursday. And then T. Higgins had a really good day Sunday. So a lot of good points there, and just enough from Elijah Moore with 6 points and Godwin with 10 to get the victory. So congrats to Third and Oolong. Both teams are 1-1. So let's go to the Travelers and the Stallions. The Travelers had a league high 197 points. Daniel Jones looked like a bust both in real life and in fantasy up until the second half. He ends up with an amazing 32 points. Russell Wilson got most of his points early, although he did get that late Hail Mary touchdown. Bijan Robinson scoring, getting a lot of yards, not really scoring yet, but he's going to be great. And DeAndre Swift on Thursday night had a great day. So other than that, you also had Hawkinson for Minnesota. So a couple big numbers plus just consistency everywhere else. And even with a 0 from Zay Jones, the Travelers get the most points in the league. The Stallions obviously had Hurts go well starting on Thursday, but just not much else other than Mike Evans. Garoppolo was terrible. I know because I had Josh Jacobs, so I was watching that game. And then you can see Higbee with 4 points, just not much scoring anywhere for the Stallions, and obviously that's why they only scored 137 points. So they're 1-1. Travelers are 2-2. And we've got Zoe of the Hellfire Demons getting her first win. She had 14 points from Bryce Young Monday night. Also, Najee Harris with 5. There were a lot of people in last night's games in this game, I believe. So Harris there, and then Deshaun Watson with 12 for Graceland. Thought there was more. Or the Browns defense was there. So Hellfire Demons gets the win. They got just enough from Bryce Young. He was projected 14. He got 14. Najee Harris, not much, but a little bit helps. And the Waddle Hill combination didn't do that great this week, but it was just enough. So, and Drake London, who had 0 catches the first game, came back with 18 points that game. So the Hellfire Demons didn't score a ton of points, but they get the victory. They're 1-1. Graceland falls to 0-2. And finally, my debacle of a game, Maggie gets her first victory in the league. Chase for the Cup. Burrow and Jamar Chase did okay, not too much, but really the big difference was the Steeler defense right there. 26 points. Freiermuth only had 1, but 26 points. They had 2 defensive touchdowns, several turnovers, and the big news for the Warriors is Nick Chubb, who was having a pretty good day. He gets carted off with a knee injury. His season's probably over. So a couple, good quarterback play, and Christian Kirk, who only had 1 catch the first game, didn't do much. The big thing for the Warriors is picking up Puka Nakua with 30 points. Now, I have a reason for not starting. He was 50-50 on the injury report, and I had no one else starting at 4. So if I would have waited till after the first game started, and then if Puka was out, I would have had nothing to put in. So I put in Christian Kirk instead, who actually did okay. It was Hopkins who had the bad day. Metcalf got hurt and came back. And then, of course, the Jets defense, playing against Dallas, just got run over. So tough loss for the Warriors, not only not scoring a lot of points, but Nick Chubb is out. And Chase for the Cup, even with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase not really getting there yet, they get enough. 2 catches for a 60, and 1 was a 60-yard touchdown for Addison. Just a good day, got points in the right spots to get the victory. So again, some close games. And here's a quick look at the standings. Again, this is early, but you have the 2 new parents, the Travelers and the Cleansers, up top of their respective divisions. If you look at the points, it's always good to sort by points, as you can see if there's luck. But as you can see, the 2 top teams in points are also 2-0. And Show Me Your TDs lost by 1 point, so they had a tough, and kick Finkel. So it's early, but the top 4 point getters are pretty much shaking out. TDs and Finkel just had bad luck with who they played that particular week. So that's it for the recap today. Again, congratulations, Temi and Chioma, and enjoy the week, and we'll talk to you next week. Thanks.